Yeah, so good afternoon and welcome to yet another online tutorial on microwaves and antennas. We have been solving problems related to spatial parameters of antenna. So yesterday we solved some 3 to 4 problems, problems on Friis transmission formula, that is radio communication link, and one problem on directivity, the first problem. Right. So we have solved that problem yesterday. So today we will be solving other problems. So problem number 2 and 3 are the kinds of problems which we have already solved, right? So it's to find directivity. To finding directivity, right? The thing which you have to keep in mind is you have to integrate the normalized, say, power pattern over 4 pi steradian. So you'll get omega A, and 4 pi by omega A will be actually what? Directivity. So you know that. So problem number 2 and 3 for the time being, right? I'm asking you to do it as a write as a homework. I told, right, whichever be the problem on directivity, right? The finding omega A will end up in evaluating an integral. It will be either like cos raised to n theta, sin theta, d theta, or sin power n theta, d theta, something like that, right? So these two problems again you can try. These are previous year university exam question paper from previous year university exam questions, right? So we'll start with the next problem, right? You can read the fourth problem. The fourth problem is, right? What I'll do is I'll just um, paste it in a new page, right? Problem number 4. Problem number 4 I'll paste here, right? So you can read the question. A parabolic reflector antenna is circular in cross section with a diameter of 1.22 meter. Right. A parabolic reflector antenna is circular in cross section with a diameter of 1.22 meter. If the maximum effective aperture is 55% of the physical aperture, calculate the gain of antenna in dB at frequency 20 gigahertz. That is the question. So we have a parabolic reflector antenna with some cross section. So we'll see what is that. Right. So I'll just take, right. So a parabolic reflector antenna with a circular cross section, right? So a parabolic reflector antenna with some circular cross section, right? And its diameter is given to be 1.22 meters. So diameter is 1.22 meter. Diameter is given to be 1.22 meters. So we can write diameter, right? Diameter, say if I call D, it is equal to 1.22 meter. What else is given? If the so from and maximum effective aperture is 55% of the physical aperture. So that is AE is given to be equal to 55%. So 55 by 100, that of a physical aperture. Right. Effective aperture is 55% of the physical aperture. From this, what we will get is aperture efficiency, epsilon AP, that is aperture efficiency. Aperture efficiency, epsilon AP is equal to 0.55. Right. So this is aperture efficiency. Right. That is 0.55. That is given. Right. So we don't know what is this AE, but AP is given, physical aperture is given. Physical aperture can be found. That is nothing but what? This area. Physical aperture is actually what? Actual area of this dish. So physical aperture, I'll write physical aperture. Right. So it's actually what? A circular cross section. Right. It's circular cross section. It is equal. So the area of this will be actually what? Pi r square. Right. Pi r square. That is pi times d by 2 the whole square, that is pi times d is 1.22, right? So it will be 1.22 by 1 the whole square. Can anyone tell me what is this physical aperture? Physical aperture of the antenna, actual aperture of this antenna, what is that? Pi into 1.22, that is pi into 1.22 by it should be pi 1.22 by 2, sorry, right, to the whole square. What is this? Please type in chat window, or else you can unmute and tell. What is a physical aperture? Please calculate and tell me. Please. So what is the answer? Anyone is doing this? 1.689, right? Okay. 1.16. Okay, 1.16. So fine. Thank you. Right. So it is 1.16 meter square, right? 1.16 meter square. So physical aperture is there, right? Physical aperture is there. So what? So from this we can find out what is effective aperture. What will be AE? Effective aperture. Effective aperture. Right. Effective aperture. AE will be equal to 0.55 times 1.16 meter square. So what is it? 0.55 times 1.16 meter square. What is it? Please do type in chat window or else 0.638. Thank you. Thank you, Pradiksha. So it's 0.638 meter square, right? So now maybe we can just quickly have a recap. What is this physical aperture and what is effective aperture? So physical aperture is nothing but what? Area, actual area of this antenna. So it's a parabolic dish with circular cross section. So this area will be pi r square. That is the actual area. Given diameter is 1.22. So actual area is 1.16 meter square. Right. So that is already given. Right. Now, what actually is this effective aperture? So if there is some power density S here, right? If there is some power density S here, right? So then the actual power delivered will not be equal to S into AP. The actual power delivered to the antenna will not be equal to X into physical aperture, because at side walls actually what there will be some electric field intensity can be actually what? 0, right? So because of that, the power delivered to antenna will not be S into AP, but it will be S into AE. So even though the area is 1.16 meter square, right, this entire area cannot effectively capture the power. Only 0.638 meter square of this antenna will be effectively capturing the power. That is the meaning, right? That is the meaning. So I told, for parabolic reflector antennas, the effective aperture can range from 50 to 80 or 90 percentage. Sorry, aperture efficiency 50 to 90 percentage. And if it is a wire antenna, right? If it is a wire type of antenna, aperture efficiency epsilon AP can be approximately equal to 100 percentage, right? But the area of wire antenna itself is actually what? Very small, so the power which it can capture will be very less, right? So that's why we are going for this parabolic reflector. So we have this A is equal to 0.638 we got, right? Now what is the question? One more thing which is given in question is F is equal to 20 gigahertz, right? So I can write F is equal to 20 gigahertz, right? F is equal to 20 gigahertz, that is given. So I need to find gain of the antenna in dB, right? I need to find gain of the antenna in dB, right? So gain is what I have to find out. Is there any relation which, any equation which relates gain and effective aperture? Assume, right? So assume K is equal to 100%, efficiency, right, is equal to 100%, right? I can write directivity is equal to gain, that is equal to 4 pi by lambda square times AE, right? So we have this equation, right? We have used it before also, right? So if we are assuming efficiency is 100%, I can write gain is equal to 4 pi by lambda square times AE. We have derived it, right? I hope you remember this, right? So now we can find. So what is lambda? But lambda F is equal to 1. What was the value of F? F is 20 giga, right? F is 20 gigahertz. So lambda will be C by F, that is 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second divided by 20 into 10 power 9. Right? What is the answer? It is 2 into 10. What is the answer? What is the lambda? Lambda value? Can anyone tell me?
0.015 meter.
0.015
meter.
Thank you, Savan. Right. So G will be equal to, now I can find out G is equal to 4 pi by 0.015 square times AE is actually what? 0.638. Right, 0.638. So what is the answer? Please tell me what is the answer of gain? 4 pi by. So the final answer is, what will be the final answer? For gain, not the final gain, actual gain. What is actual gain? You can either unmute and tell or type in chat window. 7, it is 0.015 meter square. Okay, it's for lambda. Yeah, tell me what is the answer?
35.632 kilo.
35 point.
No, it is a huge value.
63 into 10 power 3.
632.
35.6.
Yeah.
Okay, 632 into 10 power 3.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 35,632. This is a gain. What is the unit of gain? No unit, it's dimensionless. Gain is dimensionless, right? So now we want gain in dB, right? We want gain in dB. So what is the meaning of this? Gain is 35,632 once again, right? If it was an isotropic radiator, right, the maximum power in the intended direction, if it was 1 unit, right? If you use this particular antenna, the gain is actually what? The power will be 35,632 times that of an isotropic radiator. This is a radiation pattern of an isotropic radiator, and this is of actually what? Radiation pattern of antenna under test, right? So that is the meaning. So just imagine, right? If it was an isotropic radiator which will spread power equally in all direction, if the maximum power in a given direction was 1 unit, if you use this particular antenna, instead of that, the power in the maximum direction would have been 35,632. That is the meaning, right? So now gain in dB, GdB, if I write, right? Or normally we'll write dBi, which means decibel over isotropic, right? Why? Because gain of isotropic antenna, it is equal to actually what? 1, and which in dB will be equal to 0 dB, right? So gain in dB, we can, whenever we tell about gain of antenna, we'll tell dBi, that is decibel over isotropic. So that will be equal to 10 log to the base 10 of, right, gain over 1, right? Gain over 1. So that is 10 log to the base 10 of 35,632 divided by 1. So what is this? What is the answer? Please tell me. Right. So what is the answer? 10 log to the base 10 of 356.
45.51.
45.51 dB. Right. That's it. Right. So that is the final answer. That is how we'll find gain in dB. Right. It's simple. Right. And why I mentioned dBi itself is at times you may see dBd and all. Right. dBd. It is nothing but what? Decibel over that of a dipole. Right. So dBd will be, instead of G by 1, it will be actually what? Gain of the reference antenna. That can be a dipole or anything. So please keep that in mind. Right. So it's dBi. So I hope that is clear. So once again, the question was diameter of the antenna was given, and effective aperture is given, and frequency is given. We want to find the gain. So for that we use the equation. Gain is equal to 4 pi AE by lambda square. 4 pi AE by lambda square. Right. So this is the equation we use. But we have, this is based on an assumption. Right. We know gain is equal to K times directivity. If we are assuming K is equal to 1, that is efficiency of antenna is 100%. It's a lossless antenna. That is the assumption. So you can assume that, not a problem. Right. You can assume that. You by perfectly matching an antenna and very like neatly designing, we can achieve almost 100% efficiency. So this assumption is not a bad one, right? So that's it. So that is that. Any doubt in this? Any doubt in this problem? Nothing. We have used the equation, right? 4 pi a by lambda square. So you know how we have derived it, right? So now we'll move on to the next question. Right? We'll move on to the next question. Right? The second and third question I'm not touching upon now. Right? So later. Right? So you can see the fifth question. Right? Fifth question is, right? I'll put the fifth question like in a different page. Right? So this is the fifth question. Please read, and if you want, you can try it once. An antenna receives a maximum power of 2 microwatts from a radio station. So you have a radio station. So you have a transmitter, right, and a receiver. Right. This receiver receives 2 microwatts. So this is a radio station, and it is a transmitter, right? And the receiving antenna receives power 2 microwatts, right? Calculates its effective area if the antenna is located in far field of a station where magnitude of electric field intensity is 50 millivolt per meter. So this distance, right? This distance is not given. R is not given. It is not given, right? Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
I lost my connection. Yeah, okay, fine. So we'll come back to a problem. Right. And my screen is also visible, right?
Yes.
It's shared, it's not unshared. Okay, yeah, fine, great, thank you. Right. So power received is 2 microwatts, right? And distance is not given, but what is given is this radio station is transmitting and the magnitude of electric field intensity at this point, that is mode of E, right, at a distance R, that is given. Magnitude is given to be equal to 50 millivolt per meter, that is given. So magnitude of electric field, it is given to be equal to 50 millivolt per meter, right? What we need to do is we need to find effective area, right? Effective area or effective aperture. A is what we have to find. We have to find what is effective area, right? What is effective area, right? That is what we have to find, right? So should I give you some time to think through and find the answer, or I should only discuss? Do you want to try, give it a try, or should I discuss straight away? Please respond. Sherwin.
We'll discuss, sir.
Okay, I'll discuss. Right. Okay, fine. So all of you understood the question, right? The question is received power is given. Right. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, received power is given, and also magnitude of field intensity is given. Right. You have to find effective aperture. Right. So for that, we'll just have a quick recap. What is this effective aperture? Effective aperture, right? Aperture relation is actually what? Power received at any given antenna with effective aperture AE will be actually what? Power density times A, right? The received power, we know, received power is equal to power density times, where SR is actually what? Power density. Power density, or I should say average power density, right? Average power density or average pointing vector, right? Pointing vector, and its unit is actually what? Watts per square meter. So watts per square meter times meter square, right? You will get total power in watts, right? So now, what is AE actually? So effective aperture I can define as, right? Effective aperture is the ratio of the total power received to the power density at the antenna, right? So effective aperture can be defined as the total power received divided by SR, right? SR is actually what? SR is the power density in watts per meter square, right? So we know, right, average power density SR, it is equal to half mode of ER square divided by Z naught, right? So average power density SR is equal to half mode of ER square divided by Z naught, right? So maybe I should give you some more idea. So maybe some of you may be thinking from where we got this, right? So S is nothing but what? Vector S is nothing but E cross H, right? E cross H, right? And the magnitude of this is actually what? Power per unit area, right? If this E given, this E mode of ER which is given as actually what? Peak value, right? It is mode of ER which is given as peak value, right? So what will be RMS value? RMS value of ER will be mode of ER by root 2. Mode of ER by root 2. So when, if you have to find power, right? Power is actually what? RMS value of field intensity or RMS value of voltage square by impedance, right? So that's why this 1 by 2 comes here, right? So this ER what is given, we are assuming it is actually what? The peak value of field intensity which is given. So RMS value will be ER by root 2. So what, you know, power is actually what? V square by R or E square, E RMS square by Z, right? V square by R, V RMS, this is RMS value. So if peak value is given, RMS value will be peak by root 2, right? That is why this root 2 here, and ER square by Z naught. So please don't miss this 1 by 2. So when we find out the average power density, right, it's always, unless the given field intensity magnitude is RMS, you should use this particular equation, right? Now we can find what is that, right? So SR is equal to 1 by 2. Mode of E is, I think, 50 millivolt per meter, right? 50 milli, right? I'll just go up and, yes, 50 millivolt, right? So 50 millivolt per meter. So 50 into 10 power minus 3, the whole square, divided by what is the Z naught? By the way, the Z naught is equal to actually what? 120 pi ohm. It is intrinsic impedance of free space. Intrinsic impedance of free space, right? It is nothing but what? Ratio of electric field intensity to magnetic field intensity, right? And its unit is ohm. So that is 120 pi. So 120 pi. Now tell me, what is this SR? What is the value of SR? Power density. What is the value of SR? You can either type. Oh, my screen is okay. What is the value of SR? Half into 50 into 10 power minus 3, the whole square divided by 120 pi. Please give me the answer. What is the answer? Please do type in chat window. Yes, please. Am I audible? 3.315 micro. Right. So that is, thank you. Right. 3.315 micro watts per meter square. Right. So SR is 3.315 microwatts per meter square. Right. So what is given? The received power is PR received power is equal to 2 milliwatts, right? 2 milliwatts or 2 microwatts?
2 micro.
2 microwatts. Okay, yeah. So received power is 2 microwatts, and power density is actually what? 3.315 microwatt per meter square. Now we can easily find out what is the effective aperture. Right. Effective aperture once again. Right. So this antenna has some aperture, and I have actually what? I have a power density. Right. SR is equal to 3.315 microwatt per meter square, which means if the effective aperture is 1 meter square, it will deliver 3.315 microwatts of power, right? But now what is delivered 2 microwatts? So effective aperture is the ratio of PR and SR. So that is 2 microwatts divided by 3.315 microwatts per meter square, right? So what is the answer? What is the answer for effect? Of course, it has to be less than 1 square meter. Why? Because it is 2 microwatts is less than 3.315 microwatts, right? So what is the answer? Please tell me.
0.603.
0.603. What is the unit? Meter square, right? 0.603
Yes, sir.
meter square, right? So that is how you can find effective aperture. So please do remember this. So these problems will actually what help you clear the concepts, right? So now you got a better idea what actually is this effective aperture. So somewhere there is an antenna with some aperture, right? And if the power density, power distribution is SR watts per meter square, right? So the given antenna will receive some power PR. So that PR is equal to what? SR into AE, or effective aperture is the ratio of the total power received to the power density at the antenna, right? So now to I'll add one more to this, right? I'll add one more part to this question, right? So part B to this question is, if epsilon AP, that is aperture efficiency, is 0.55, if aperture efficiency is 0.55, find physical aperture. Physical aperture of the antenna AP. That is the question, right? If aperture efficiency is 0.55, find physical aperture. Please, all of you, please do find out. All of you, please find out the answer. What will be AP? So you know A is equal to 0.603, right? So what will be physical aperture now? Please, all of you, please do try this. Yeah, I'll give you 1 minute. So please do find out and post your answers in chat window. All of you, please try out and post your answer in chat window. Yeah. Why are we taking this much time? So, you know, aperture efficiency is nothing but what? Effective aperture divided by physical aperture. So, which implies physical aperture will be effective aperture divided by aperture efficiency. So, in this case, it will be equal to 0.603 meter square divided by 0.55. So, what is the answer? What is the answer? 0.3316. No, it cannot be. It cannot be 7. Physical aperture should be larger than effective aperture. Right. In fact, what I told is
09.
right 1096. Yeah, 1.09. Why? Because the effective aperture will be 50. Effective aperture is 55% of the physical aperture. Right. Effective aperture is 55% of physical aperture. So physical aperture will be 0.603 divided by 0.55. So the answer is 1.09 meter square, right? 1.09 meter square. Right. It is 1.09 meter square. Right. So that is the answer. So actually the physical aperture is 1.09 meter square, but the effective is only 0.609. If the aperture efficiency was 1, this entire 1.09 meter square would have captured the power. But as aperture efficiency is 0.55, only 55% of the aperture is effectively capturing the power. It's just actually what? It's for mathematical convenience, okay? There is nothing like actually what effective aperture. Either is if you can't draw a boundary and show this is effective aperture. It's actually what ideally or theoretically these things exist. But if you ask me what actually is this physically, it's for our mathematical convenience, right? Just to design our design parameters. That's it, right? Okay, fine. So that's it. I hope this problem again is clear. Right, this problem again is clear. Once again, the problem was antenna received power PR was given, right? And we had to find out effective aperture, right? What was given is mode of E, mode of ER, magnitude of electric field intensity, right? So what we did is the equations to remember is SR is half ER square by Z naught, right? And effective aperture is the ratio of received power to power density. So these two equations or these two concepts are what you have to remember, right? And unit of power density is watts per meter square, and unit of effective aperture is meter square. So always make it a habit, right? Units, right? Right, units. So that's all about that question, right? Shall we move on to the next question? Any doubt in this? Anyone has any doubt in this? Any doubt? Savan, any doubt? Is there any confusion now?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, right. Okay. Initially, but you just multiplied it with 0.55, right?
Yes, sir. Instead of
Okay.
dividing,
Fine.
I multiply.
No problem. No problem. Yeah. So now we'll move on to the next problem. We'll move on to the next problem. Right. So this is a very, very simple problem. Right. This is another type of problem which is possible. So I am right asking you to solve this. Find the power density at a distance of 3 km. I'll just copy and paste it in. Right. So the question is, and I won't solve this. I want you to solve this. Right. Find the power density at a distance of 3 km from an isotropic source. If the power density at a distance of 2 km is 10 milliwatts per meter square. Right. We have to find. Right. We have to find power density at. You have to find SR at R is equal to 3 km. Right. This is what we have to find. I'm just interpreting the question. Right. And given it is an isotropic radiator, right? Isotropic source. If it is an isotropic source, the radiation pattern is spherical, which means it will spread the given power equally well in all direction, right? It's an isotropic radiator, right? At any given distance r, right? If SR is the power density, that SR will be total power transmitted divided by 4 pi r square, right? So the transmitted power is spread across the sphere, right? So it is an isotropic source, it is given. So the power density at a distance of 2 kilometers is given 10 milliwatts per meter square. So power density at a distance of 2 kilometer, it is given to be equal to 10 milliwatt per square meter, right? Power density at a distance of 2 kilometers is given to be 10 milliwatts per square meter. So what we need to find is what is the power density at a distance of 3 kilometer, right? So please solve this. Please solve this problem. So we know, right? We know that for an isotropic radiator, power density SR will be equal to, right? Isotropic radiator power density SR will be equal to PT divided by 4 pi R square, where PT is the total transmitted power. What is the meaning of this? The power is spread uniformly over a sphere, right? It is sent to all direction, right? So now power density at R equal to 3, that is PT divided R equal to 2 kilometer, right? R equal to 2 kilometer, right? So if it is 2 kilometer, you should write it as actually what? 2000 meter. Why? Because it's given in watts per meter square, right? So PT divided by 4 pi times 2000 square, right? And this is given to be equal to 10 milliwatt per meter square, right? So this is equal to 10 milliwatt per meter square. Right? Now we have to find what is the power density at a distance of 3 kilometer, right? So you need to find SR at R is equal to 3 kilometer. That is PT divided by 4 pi into 3000 square. This is what you have to find. So please do find it out. Please do find it out. And tell me the answer. What is the answer? Please find it out and tell me the answer. Yeah, what is the answer? Please find out the answer and type it in chat window. Okay. First find what is PT. From this, please find PT. Right. PT 4 pi into 2 square times 10 into 10 power minus 3. So what is this total power? And what is the power density at a distance of 3000 meters? Yeah, please type in the answer in chat window. Fast. Like all of you understood this problem. What is the problem? Do you understand? So power density, it's 7. It is uh, 50, it is total power. What you have typed in?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Total power, right? So total power is tell me what is that?
502654.82.
502654.82 watts. So this is the total power. So you know the total power. Substitute the total power in this particular equation. You will get what is SR. So substitute PT in this particular equation and get the answer. So what will be power density at a distance of 3 kilometer?
4.44 millimeter square.
4.44 milliwatts per
Meters.
meter square. Yeah. So all of you are getting the same answer. Please verify. Sherwin, it is 0.444. What is that? Now, Savan told it is 4.44 milliwatts per meter. Sherwin, can you cross check your answer? So, what is the answer? 4.44 or 0.444?
0.44, sir.
Savan, it's 0.44.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Okay, yeah. So, sure, I'll wait for some more responses. It's 0.444, right? Even Pratiksha is telling it's point. So, it's 0.444 milliwatts per meter square. Right? It is 0.444 milliwatts per meter square. Just see, right? The power density at distance of 2 kilometer was 10 milliwatts per meter square, but an additional 1 kilometer power density dropped to actually what? 0.444. Right. So that is the problem with isotropic radiator. Right. It spreads power in all directions so that in any given direction the power gain or gain is less. That gain is actually what? Very poor.
Sir.
On the other hand, if we use an isotropic radiator, we can improve it.
Excuse
So
me,
yeah,
sir.
yeah.
I think the previous answer was right. I don't know. They said yes to my answer or Sherwin.
Yeah, Sherwin, which answer is correct?
For maybe. Sherwin,
Huh?
turn on mic.
Which one? I'm getting
What is the answer?
0.44,
4.44 or 0.444?
0.44. I'm getting.
Pratiksha, what is the answer you are getting? Pratiksha, what is the answer you are getting?
Sir, I'm getting 0.44.
0.44. And Savan is getting 4.4. So others, what about others?
I'll check again, sir. I'll check again. Third.
Right. Others, all of you please try. So Srisha is getting 4.44.
4.44.
Sharon getting 4.44.
Yes, sir. It's 4.44. I don't know how they are getting.
Right. So, like, okay, now many people are there to
I
support.
cross-checked 3 times. I'm getting 4.44 milli.
Okay. Why? How come both CRs made same mistake?
They are CRs, so they will do
Yeah.
same mistake.
Okay. So can I finalize it at 4.44? Milliwatts per meter square. Right. So it is 4.44 milliwatts per meter square. Just cross check once again. All of you please do try. Right. So I have taken this question from previous university question paper. Right. So I hope, right. So whatever it is reducing. So almost right 10 to 4.44. Okay, maybe you can cross check later. Not a problem. Right. So that is it. So that's it. So it was just to, like, this problem was intended to give you an idea of what is an isotropic radiator, how power drops as distance increases, or power density drops as distance increases from an isotropic radiator. That was the question. So a 2 kilometer power density was given. So from that you found the total power. Then using the total power, we found the power density at 3 kilometer. That's it. Right, that's it. So those are the questions. So these are the types of questions which you can expect. And these are the types of questions. But you please be thorough with the concepts. Right. Please have a clear idea what are right each and every term. Right. So then by default math will come. Right. So okay. So that's about those three problems. Now you can try solving the second problem. Right. All of you please do try solving the second problem and post the answer. We have 5 minutes. Right. So I'll give 5 minutes time. Maybe 3 minutes time I'll give. Right. All of you please do try solving the second problem and give me the answer. For a source having radiation intensity u of theta comma phi is equal to um sine square theta sine cube phi, given theta from 0 to pi and phi from 0 to pi, find the directivity by exact method and by approximate method. So now you please solve only directivity by exact method. By approximate method you can solve it later. Right. By approximate method you can solve later. Right. So please help me solve this. Right. Please solve this and let me know the answer. All of you please solve. Sine square theta sine cube phi. Yeah, I hope all of you are trying. You have to type in what is the answer. Right. Did anyone get the answer? Directivity. Right. So these two, question number 2 and 3 are homeworks. Right. You should try and tell me the answer. I'll just right in next class. Right. I may just ask some of you to show your notebooks. Right. I may want to see this problem solved in your notebook. Everyone. Right. 2 and 3. Question number 2 and 3. So these questions I'll post in Canvas. Right. These questions I'll post in Canvas. You can take it up from there. So that's it. Right. If you have any doubt, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, you can leave the meet. Right. Whether you understood all the problems which we solved today, and you can just type in that and then you can leave the meet. whether you understood all the problems which you have solved today. Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fine. Thank you. All of you can leave the meet.